Hello, if this is your first time to come across this channel, just tap the subscription button because wonderful things happen here, and I promise you, you won't regret it. In this video, we are going to look at the deadly consequences of believing or of giving heed to the doctrines of devils. It should be remembered that for ages, from the time God called the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, He ordered them not to ask, to talk to spirits, talk to dead, call up the dead, such things, occultism and being mediums. So God forbid His people from involving in those stuff or in those such things. Now we are going to read the Bible and see what would happen to the people who insisted to disobey the voice of the Lord by going ahead and participating in spiritualism. We read in Deuteronomy chapter 18 from verse 10 to verse 13, which says, "There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer." Verse 12 says, "For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth drive them out before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God." Yes, Deuteronomy says that these people, this kind of people, will be driven out of the congregation. Remember, by that time, it was a setting, God's people, God's peculiar people, and he actually urged them that they should not participate in such things, or else those who insist, they will be driven out of the congregation. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 27 says, "A man also a woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. Or they shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them." These are very deadly consequences of believing in doctrines of devils. You see that these punishments, they are tremendously harsh. Be driven out of the society, be stoned to death. Oh, these circumstances were put place by God in order to contain, in order to protect His people from worshipping false gods. The truth is, witchcraft is demonic. It seduces people to keep on worshipping false gods and deviating them away from the true worship. And in the end, they end up not getting the satisfactions of their hearts, because anyway, it's the devil. The devil wishes nothing to people, instead death. He only wants them to be dead, to die forever. So you find out that in the end, they actually don't get what they needed, what they were looking for, what they were yearning for, in so worshipping the spirits of the dead, like participating in being mediums, occultism, and being necromancers. So these things are actually delusions. They are not real, but they are just the devil's deceptions as we see in the Bible. You need to know this. You really need to know this, that spiritualism is just the devil's, like it is, let me call it a strategy. It's one of the devil's most effective strategies to drive the world away from God, to drive people to death. So my dear friend, please take heed. Please give your ear to the word of God. Run for your life, because the devil wishes nothing for you but death. These consequences right now, we may not stone people for being witches, or for being necromancers, or for being wizards, but the end result will be eternal death. My friend, please welcome Jesus in your heart and get away from believing from talking to the dead, from believing in the spirits of the dead, from indulging in spiritualism. Please, I urge you, this day, give your life to Jesus Christ, and you will not regret. I promise. He will give you life, the life eternal. In the next episode, we are going to look at what the Old Testament people really believed about the dead, and how they really saw in the realm of the dead and such stuff. So please, I urge you that you be following, and we continue learning the word of God, which is life for our souls. May God bless you. Until next time, goodbye.